A single pair of Mardi Gras beads can contain toxic chemical elements like lead, cadmium, chlorine, bromine, arsenic, and even mercury. Now, we saw the backlash in Indiana and Arkansas, but Governor Bobby Jindal is sticking to his guns. And a simple assignment for a Tulane University Spanish class has turned into a scandal for the Green Wave. They've raised almost $25,000 for the kids at Children's Hospital. Before the sun could even come up, the Battle of Liberty Place Monument was already coming down. Thousands of pounds of Mardi Gras beads left in the street, unworn, unused, and many broken. And while it may look like a mess that'll just get cleaned up, experts say it's really taking a toll on the environment.
They're getting into storm drains, and then of course that is making its way down into the lake and then out into the Gulf of Mexico and eventually out into our oceans. Not only can fish and other marine life ingest those beads, but then they can also, some of the chemicals can start leaching into the waterways.
According to ecocenter.org, a single pair of Mardi Gras beads can contain toxic chemical elements like lead, cadmium, chlorine, bromine, arsenic, and even mercury. So, the Audubon Institute is making it easier for you to safely recycle your beads. Just bring them to the aquarium, zoo, or insectarium. All those beads go to the Ark.
We're saying we're saving New Orleans one bead at a time.
Last year, Ark collected nearly 86,000 pounds of beads, but more than triple that number is just sitting in a landfill somewhere.
20 million pounds of beads get imported every year, and we do less than 200,000 pounds in a year. So where does the rest of that 19 million plus go?
So next year, whether you're catching them or throwing them, keep in mind the powerful impact that Mardi Gras beads have on the planet.
It's better to throw smarter, because you'll throw less, and you'll help sustain a little bit more of the planet.
Raymond Price, Loyola News. That's right, Gina. We saw the backlash in Indiana and Arkansas, but Governor Bobby Jindal is sticking to his guns. He's issued an executive order for a religious freedom bill. Now, the bill died in the legislature, and that's where some lawmakers and others say it should have been buried. Senator Karen Carter Peterson fired back at the governor's action and inactions during a Senate meeting in Baton Rouge, claiming that Jindal is not looking out for the people's interest.
When is enough going to be enough around here? When is he going to roll up his sleeves and come to work and do the people's business that he asked to do? We didn't beg him to run for governor. He asked to run for governor.
The measure essentially creates protections for private businesses whose owners and employees oppose non-traditional marriage. Some say it allows for discrimination. Jindal says it protects Christians from discrimination and only guarantees constitutional rights.
First Amendment to the Constitution says that Louisianians, Americans, have the right to live according to their religious beliefs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without discrimination.
While the governor remains committed to his decision, some people think the outcome will have a drastic effect on tourism, a vital component of the state's economy.
This state depends on billions of dollars from the tourist industry, which includes conventions and the leisure traveler, and we don't need this type of issue distracting or deterring potential visitors and conventioneers from coming here.
And the tourism industry is already taking jabs. 2 New York State lawmakers have asked their governor, Andrew Cuomo, to ban all non-essential state-funded travel to Louisiana. In the letter, New York State Assemblyman Daniel O'Donnell says, "We sent a letter to Indiana and Arkansas. We'll do the same to Louisiana." Gina?
All right, Raymond. It'll teach us the right thing to do. If a police approaches us the wrong way, not to fuss at them, because if you do that, it's gonna make the problem even bigger.
That's only part of the reason why 12-year-old Jazzy Walker attended today's talk, knowing your rights and responsibilities when interacting with police. More often than not, young people may not know the appropriate way to deal with officers, and knowing your rights could make the difference between leaving a scene safely or not.
We talk about basic things like your Fourth Amendment rights in a stop and frisk, how to avoid use of force, what things officers find threatening.
Police using excessive force on teens have been caught on camera from Fairfield, Ohio, to McKinney, Texas, and here in New Orleans when a 16-year-old girl was roughed up in a juvenile detention center. Leaders in the community say they want to prevent incidents like this from happening again.
It's better to educate now than had to react after something horrible has happened. There are a lot of great cops, and when people think police, they think, well, it's time to hire, it's time to run, and we want to let them know that's not the case. Police are actually hired and employed to protect us and help us have a safer neighborhood and community.
6 hours of dancing led up to this moment, the big reveal of the 2017 Loyola Dance Marathon. These kids put on their boogie shoes, and their original goal was $10,000, but after the night, they've raised almost $25,000 for the kids at Children's Hospital so they can get the best care and treatment in the world. The excitement didn't end at the last song. Donations were coming in past the final countdown, and the growing numbers kept everybody on their toes.
So we do the number reveal at midnight, and it was crazy enough that we got, we had made the poster to show everyone at like 11:45, and then got a $50 donation. So we just like scrambled together, started sharpening a brand new poster.
Every single dollar is a miracle for families who depend on Children's Hospital.
So for us, it's the difference between life and death.
Children's is a nonprofit, so without donations from fundraisers like Dance Marathon, the hospital wouldn't have been able to give Kelly's daughter, Sophia, all the life-saving treatments she needs.
To be able to give the technology to the doctors to perform, surgery and save her life repeatedly is just incredible.
This year, Loyola raised $21,000 more than last year, and they're hoping to keep raising that bar in the future.
I think it's just exciting to finally see it all come together and finally raise it all, but I think that next year should be even bigger, and then the next year bigger and bigger and bigger.
Raymond Price, Loyola News Service.
And a simple assignment for a Tulane University Spanish class has turned into a scandal for the Green Wave. Freshman Harry Rothstein is under fire for turning in a 20-minute video that he claimed was a piece of satire. The video shows Rothstein strolling along Claiborne Avenue to eat an authentic Mexican meal at Taco Bell. Many students are saying the video is racist, hateful, and they're outraged that this kind of content made it into their classroom. Tulane officials are still investigating Rothstein's video, but so far no action has been taken against him. And one uptown school is closed today after violent threats on social media. NOLA.com reports that Isidore Newman School will be closed for the rest of the week. New Orleans police are investigating the incident, and students from pre-K through 12th grade attend the school, which is less than a mile from Loyola's campus. A school spokesperson said the school has identified the person who made the threat, but they're not going to release that person's name.